Hi, thanks for stopping in again. Well, today is going to be the first part of a two-part series on how to get better gas mileage with your Cadillac. In part one, we're going to talk about the things you can do that don't cost you anything to get better gas mileage. You'll be surprised. Have you heard about all these before? If not, you'll learn a trick or two on how to get better gas mileage without it costing you anything. Alright, so let's get started. As of 2018, gas prices are up 31% from last Memorial Day. This is from CNN Money. So if gas prices are the way they are, we need to think about ways of how to get better gas mileage out of our Cadillac. Well, in this video, first I'll be talking about ways you can get better gas mileage without spending a dime. And then I'll talk about things you can do to your Cadillac to maintain and to get better gas mileage from your Cadillac. Okay, first we have maintaining proper tire inflation. If the tire pressure is low, then there's too much of the tire surface area that touches the ground, which increases friction between the road and the tire. As a result, not only will your tires wear prematurely, but they also could overheat. Overheating can lead to tread separation and can cause a bad accident. You need to check your tire pressure even if your tires aren't leaking. Why? Because tire pressure also changes with the temperature outside. Tire pressure decreases by 1 pound per square inch for every 10 degrees drop outside air temperature. So if you last had your tire pressure checked in July when it was 80 degrees outside, and now it's January and the temperature is minus 20, your tires may be underinflated by 10 pounds. Which is dangerous. It is a well-known fact that underinflated tires cause loss of fuel economy and accelerate tire wear. In plain words, low tire pressure means use more gas and ruin more tires. Underinflation of the tire by 10% increases the tire wear by 5% and increases gas consumption by 2%. Number 2. Using your cruise control can improve your gas mileage by helping you maintain a steady speed, but only if you are driving on mostly flat roads. If you are driving on hilly terrain, using your cruise control typically causes your vehicle to speed up faster to maintain the preset speed than if you were operating the accelerator yourself. Before you push the cruise control button, think about the terrain ahead. As you know, there are several variables to consider before using your cruise control, such as traffic, road conditions, windy roads, or climbing mountains, weather, using your air conditioner, or driving with windows down. A strong headwind could cause additional drag. Other things to consider about is your speed and tire condition. Number 3. Remove any unnecessary weight. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you have a lot of weight in your car, you're obviously going to be using more gas. So go through your car and remove any unnecessary weight. And yes, that's including your tools. Number 4. Avoid the road groove. What do I mean by road groove? Well, I think you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever drove on a road that's been used over and over again? After a while, all the cars that have driven over the road have created a groove in the road. Now you know what I'm talking about. Well, think of the grooves like this. Picture yourself driving 55 miles an hour on a flat highway. As you're driving, you feel a smooth ride, right? Because the road is nice and smooth. Now picture your car now driving into some gravel at 55 miles an hour. What's going to happen? Well, first of all, it's going to be noisy. Second of all, the road's going to be rough. And third of all, you can feel the car slow down because the road isn't nice and soft. It's rough. So your tires are having to work more. If your tires are having to work more in the gravel, it means that the engine is working more to maintain the speed. So the same thing goes with the groove on the highway. The groove is really rough from the tires beating up the road. So avoid riding in the groove. Ride slightly to the left or to the right depending on how the traffic is around you. What you'll hear first is the noise will be reduced because now you're not riding on the road that's beaten up. You're riding on smoother road. Smoother road means better gas mileage. Use your air conditioner wisely. It's a known fact using your air conditioner in this city will cost you more than using your air conditioner on the highway. If you're using your air conditioner in the city, try to roll your windows down if all possible. Of course, if it's really hot, you probably won't care about your gas mileage. But again, it's common knowledge. It costs more to use your air conditioner in the city than it is to use your air conditioner on the highway. Number 6, do you have a fuel-efficient driving style? I'm not talking about that kind of driving style. I'm talking about the way you step on the accelerator pedal. Or do you have the dreaded heavy foot? No one can deny the driving style plays a critical role in how much fuel a car uses. The DOE estimates that consistently accelerating and decelerating can cut your mileage as much as 33%. The fact is, easing up on jackrabbit starts and Indy-style highway maneuvers will save you more money than puttering along at 55. Number 7, drive the speed limit. The DOE says that every 5 miles per hour you drive above 60 is like paying an additional 25 cents per gallon for gas. That's because at higher speeds your car encounters more wind resistance and the tires encounter more rolling resistance. Fuel efficiency really doesn't start to drop until you reach speeds higher than 60, and how smoothly you drive makes more of a difference on gas mileage than how fast. Number 8, remove any unnecessary accessories. Do you really use that ski rack or roof storage containers, mud flaps, hitch balls, spare tire? Yes, spare tire. I've heard guys say that they remove their spare tire, but at long distances they'll take their spare tire. I asked them what they do if they do get a flat. They said they keep a can of that flat tire repair, or they just call AAA. Anything that adds wind resistance, it makes the job for cutting through the air much more difficult, hence poor gas mileage. Number 9, do I have to use premium gas? Can I use regular? You know, there's a big controversy on this subject, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this. So do your own due diligence. My understanding is you can use regular gas. You'll read that using regular gas will cause knocking problems. Then you hear the other side say that the car has anti-knocking sensors. Then you hear the knock sensors are sensors since if there is a knocking issue and correct it, it's not meant for a long-term solution. Eventually all parts will wear. But you'll read that technically all gases are the same. Obviously the octanes are different, but the detergent blends each company uses are vastly different. Over the long run, you're much more likely to develop issues with your fuel injectors or your sensors if you stick to that cheap grocery store gas station. Like I said, do your due diligence, go from premium to regular, but if you do, you know as well as I do, that's a big savings. Number 10, don't fill up your car. I had a guy tell me that he filled up his car and he drove it for a month and only used about a quarter of a tank. I was thinking that all that month he carried 3/4 of a tank of gas for nothing for a month. So in a 20-gallon tank he used a quarter of a tank, so that's 5 gallons, which leaves 15 gallons left over. Gasoline weighs 8.34 pounds per gallon. 15 gallons times 8.34 equals 125 pounds. So this friend of mine was driving around for a month carrying 125 pounds of gasoline that he wasn't going to use. So you can only imagine the gas mileage if he would have not carried around 125 pounds worth of gas. So what does 125 pounds worth of gas look like? Well, picture 5-gallon Sparkletts bottles. 125 pounds would equal approximately between 3 and 4 bottles. That's what 125 pounds worth of gas that you didn't need to carry around looks like. Number 11, get an app for better fuel economy. Okay, there are literally tons of apps on the market to help you get better fuel economy. Some, like a company called Automatic, will beep you if you accelerate too quickly, brake too hard, or drive too fast. Like a fully automated backseat driver. If you never hear it do anything, your fuel economy is doing great. Okay, this is the end of part 1, how to increase your gas mileage in your Cadillac without having to spend any money. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Check out my part 2 in this series, how to get better gas mileage out of your Cadillac. In part 2, we'll talk about things you can do to maintain your Cadillac's engine performance. Unfortunately, it's not free to do these things. To maintain the engine, there is going to be some costs. Anyway, I hope to see you in part 2. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later. Bye.